Hello guys, welcome back to the next episode of my Templar campaign series. Today we are going to be taking on Act 2, but before we start I want to buy some more gems to get some more quality of life. So we go back to Act 1, talk to Nessa right here. She's also going to give us a reward for killing the end boss of Act 1, Vaal, and we are going to take Stormburst. This doesn't really matter as we are not going to be leveling with this, but I plan on playing this later on in the endgame. And then, right here, for the gems, you are going to search for Shield Charge and Faster Attacks. And these two gems, you can socket them wherever. They just have to be linked to each other. Then I'm going to put it on my left click. This guy is also going to give you another passive skill point. And Dark Life can give you some more gems. We don't need any of those, so I'm not going to take them. And then, next thing I'm going to take is making my way over to this Fire Mastery just for some more fire damage. Then we go back to the Forest Encampment for Act 2. And for some extra damage, I'm going to talk to Yina right here. She sells wands and she also sells these goat horns. And they always add fire damage. Okay, now this one actually adds fire damage here as an implicit and as a prefix modifier. You don't have to know these terms yet. Just know that you are looking for fire damage. You can just buy a wand like this and it's going to give you some better damage. Okay, and then I'm going to swap out my weapon. I don't need this one anymore. And now we can go on with the act. So the first thing in this act you want to do is go left right here to the Riverways. And you can talk to Einhar right here. He's actually going to help you kill some monsters. He's another League Mechanic guy. He's the Beast Hunter. And in this area you will see there's some beasts. You don't have to kill them. Again, it's just a League Mechanic that is introduced to you. And now we can also use this Shield Charge ability for some extra mobility. I would advise you to, if you see these blue packs, to kill them, because they give a lot of experience. We just level up from that pack, basically. And then I'm going to also switch out my flask. Okay, and here we are just going to follow this path on the ground. And then when we get to these intersections or these like gaps right here from the river, you can just blink over them with Frost Blink. Then we can charge through all of the enemies with Shield Charge. And there we can see the exit. Now this is the Western Forest. In this area we are actually looking for three things. So at the start we are just going to follow the path again. And there's the waypoint, that's great. You can, from this waypoint out, go into the right and the left to get to the two events of this area. However, I'm going to head to the third event of the area first, which is the Intruders. Here I think they are called the Blackguards. To the Blackguards you have to kill this guy right here, Captain Ateri, whatever his name is. Again, just put down your Holy Flame Totem, Flame Wall and spam Rolling Magma. And then, once you've picked up the emblem, you put it into the seed right here. And then you can head back to Bestel in Act 1. He's going to give you another quest reward. After we've done that, I'm just going to head left and stay at the edge of the area until I find this spiderweb area. You can also, if you go to the right, find the spiderweb area, complete left side of the map or on the right side. Really depends on the layout. And on the other side is going to be Alira. She's the first bandit. There's 3 bandits in this act and we have to deal with them to get the apex and go into the ancient pyramid, where we will fight the final boss of this act. In this area we will have to look for the Reaver, so let's see if we can find the chamber. Okay, so this might be the wrong direction. I'll check down here. It really should be to the left. Okay, there we go. There's the exit. And there's the Weaver's Nest. Right here again. Flame Wall, Holy Flame Totem, and Rolling Magma. And then at around half HP, she's going to disappear, have a little bit of an ads phase until we have beaten some of the ads, and then she's going to come back down. There we go. And now I would recommend to stay at the outside edge of this area, just because the spiders can get a little overwhelming. They are swarming you. Just remember that you have your Frostblink to dash out of the corner. Yeah, just like right there. Spiders cornered me, but luckily I had the Frostblink. And there we go. She also dropped a build, which is very nice, as we don't have one yet. I'm going to exit to character selection, log back in, and then we can talk to Cruz right here. He's going to sell some items. I'm going to look for some movement speed boots again. Okay, doesn't seem to have any. And then I think we also have to talk to Silk. Yeah, he's going to give us a support gem. Right here I'm just going to pick Elemental Focus, and when we reach the level 18 we can support our Holy Flame Totem with Elemental Focus. Okay, next up we are going to head back to the Riverways, to the Western Forest, and now we are going to head to the opposite direction of where we have just went. And now we know that down there is going to be Alira, the first of the 3 bandits. There we go. And for her, we are going to kill her. You can also help her, and then you will get 15 all elemental resistances. I like to kill all of the bandits, but you can also help one of them. And especially if you are a beginner, some more elemental resistances at the start might be useful. There we go. Why you just have to stay out of the big sigil she casts on the ground. That does a lot of damage, but if you stay out of that, she can't really do a whole lot. I'm going to exit to character selection, log back in, to get right back to town. And now we go to the right, roll fields. In this area you again just follow the path. Until you find an exit. There's actually another cave in this area, which can confuse you maybe, but you are looking for the Crossroads, not the den down there. And in this area, again follow the road until you see a Crossroads or the waypoint right here. And from this waypoint we are going to head up. And now we found the Chamber of Sins. Very nice. In this area there is a middle portion which we are trying to get to. We will have to get there from either the right or the left. So I'm going to see which... Okay, in this layout we have to go right. Sometimes it's also left. We just have to choose one and go with it. And now you can see the waypoint right here. This is like the circular middle, and we have to go into the direction the waypoint points. So here it's pointing like down, so we head into this direction. And there we can also find the Chamber of Sins level 2. In this area we have 2 things to do. One is the Trial of Ascendency, which you should be able to see on the map when you see a book. That's usually the tell. Okay, so I actually found the exit to this area first. We are just going to have to head back and do the trial again. So here you have to kill Fidelitas. He is. And he does a lot of damage when you are close to him. So just keep your distance, maybe try to make him attack your totem, and then throw some magma bolts. There we go. And now click on the device, pick up the gem. Now since we didn't find the trial while going here, I'm going to head back and try to find the trial. Okay, this scepter is not too bad, but not better than the one we have right now, because we have some fire damage. Okay, and for this mastery right here, when you have the big node of one of these wheels allocated, you can allocate a mastery in the middle, and I'm going to take critical strikes do not inherently ignite, but 100% increased damage with hits against ignited enemies. And now I'm going to head back and look for the book sign on the map. Okay, so I know this is the gem room. We have to go into another direction. Okay, so the trial was on the complete opposite side. That's very unlucky. However, it happens. And now, for this trial again, you can just kind of walk through the traps. They do deal some damage, but especially if you're fast and are touching them just for a second, they're very manageable. And click the black right here again, and then go through the portal. Now, as we are done with the area, I can go back to town. Now, from Cruise right here, I'm going to take Herald of Ice and Thunder. I'm going to get Thunder right here, go to Yena and buy the Ice Herald. Okay, so this costs an Alteration Orb. You can get Alteration Orbs by either just finding them off the ground, or you can also sell identified rare items, or magic as well. But it seems that I also don't have enough rare items, so I'm going to sell these items right here, Blacksmith's Whetstones. And then I can identify some more rare items, and I got an Orb of Alteration. Very nice. And then I can buy the Herald of Ice.
Stay true to you.
Now I can put all of my stuff into stash. Okay, so when we hit level 16, we will be able to use our first auras. That's very nice. I'm going to explain what an aura is when we get to level 16. And for now, I'm just going to head back to the Crossroads and go straight. Now this road leads to the broken bridge right here. And in this area we have to follow the path again until we find the bridge, and when we cross over that bridge we will find Kraityn, who is the next Bandit Lord. Okay, maybe that build is actually better.
I must have time to gather my will.
And now over the bridge we are going to find the next bandit. I'm going to kill him as well. You can only choose to help one, and you will have to kill the other two. So if you've chosen to help Alira for the resistances, then you're going to have to kill the other two. Also, you can always change your choice later in the game, so this is not permanent, but for now I'm going to just kill all of them. And there you can see I dropped the Chaos Orb. I recommend that you are playing in Trade League, so you can trade with other players. That helps a lot with progression. And Chaos Orbs are pretty much the primary trading currency in the game, so definitely pick those up. And we got another gold horn. Maybe this has good stats. Okay, this is very nice. This has a lot of added damage to spells. I'm definitely going to be using that.
Return.
And now we can move on to the Riverways. And we're going to head for the last bandit. From the waypoint, just move straight up till you find this portal right here to the Wetlands. And around the middle of this area you will find Oak with the third and final Vandal Lord. So we managed to find the waypoint. That's very nice. We are going to have to head back there. Okay, and it seems that Oak is further up here. Okay, there we go. And for him, he's just a melee character, so if you can stay at a distance, he won't be able to do much. Kind of like leap slams around, like trying to get you. Just try to make him attack your totem. There we go.
You dare to speak for peace, outlaw?
And since we have the waypoint, I can just go back to town and teleport there. Now, right here, we can go into the Vaal Ruins. And this area is usually either an S shape or kind of like an O. Like Chaos Orb, very nice. And I found a 2-stone ring. These rings are especially nice because they give a lot of resistances, and they don't give only a single resistance but 2. And right here, if you want to check your resistances, around Act 3 or 4 you really want to look towards to capping out your resistances. And right now, if you just press C and go over to the defense tab, you can see my resistances. For Acts 1 to 3 I would say that it's not that important. However, later on, like towards the end of Act 3, you should really look to cap out or nearly cap out your resistances for survivability. Once you see this symbol on the map, you know you are going the right way. This is a corruption altar. We are not going to interact with it. And there, the exclamation mark is where we need to go.
Help me to lead this world back into the light.
And this leads to the northern forest again. Right here in this area, you just want to stay at the right side, near the river, until the very top. Now there is also going to be kind of like a fake exit right here. This actually doesn't lead where you want to go. So really stay at the right side until you're at the very end of the area. And there we go, this leads to the Caverns. Also, I'm going to try to mention this every episode, that he wants to stay within around 3 levels of the current area level. So I'm kind of under-leveled right now, but especially if you're a beginner, I would recommend to get to either exactly the same level or even a bit above the same level as your current zone. Just makes it a bit safer. Now I took the first keystone for our Path of 3. this right here is going to be a huge damage increase. And for this area, this is kind of like a U. So we are going to try to head right back as soon as we can. So we actually have to go a little bit further down. Okay, there's the waypoint, very nice. Now I think I have to go to town again. And now as we have dealt with all the bandit lords, Eramir right here, it's going to give me another passive point and the apex, which is the item that we need to enter the final part of this act. I'm also going to be equipping the 2 heralds I got. A little edit, I actually forgot to do one more quest. We have to go back to the Crossroads, then go down here for the Fellshrine Ruins. Continue on the path.
I must have time to gather my will.
And for this quest we will have to find the golden arm and bring it back to Yina for another passive skill point. Here again, just follow the roads until you find some ruins of a shrine. It should be right around here, and then you can enter right there, go through till you find this entrance right here to the crypt. And also in this area there will be another Trial of Ascendency, as you can see up here.
A house of faith, fallen to desecration.
So we will be looking out for the book symbol. Okay, so this seems to be the trial. Let's see how we can get there. There we go. And here you will have to activate some levers for the doors to open. And just click the black again. Now we are at 3 out of 6.
When the night falls.
And we will also have to find the exit to the next area. Okay, actually this goes on this way. I thought this was a dead end, but apparently this will probably lead to the exit. There we go. And in this area we will have to find another exclamation mark where a mini-boss guards the golden arm. You actually don't have to fight the mini-boss this time. You just have to pick up the arm and then bring it back to town. Let's see if we can find that. Okay, this is the exclamation mark I was talking about. Click on it, pick up the golden hand, go back to town. Then you can talk to Yina, and she's going to give you a passive point. And now we go back to the caverns. And for your auras, you can hold control to bring up a second bar of skills. That's usually where I like to keep my auras. These are like the Herald of Ice and Herald of Thunder I was talking about. And you can just activate them once, and they stay activated as a permanent buff. They reserve some of your maximum mana, but in turn they give you some very powerful effects. And they are passive, so you don't have to really do anything even. And now we are just looking for the exit. Sometimes in this area, the exit is kind of like hard to find because there is multiple doors right here. The areas kind of overlap. But this seems to be the right exit right there. As the ancient pyramid, that's where we are trying to go. And these areas right here are always like squares. So usually it's a good idea to try to go across, but it can be, or the exit can be in any of the four corners. So maybe you can also just go clockwise, counterclockwise as I am doing right now. There we go. Next exit. We are just trying to climb this pyramid to the very top. There we go, the pyramid apex. Right here you can activate this to spawn in the boss. Grab the crafting recipe, and then you will have to wait a little bit. So for this boss, there are a few attacks that can deal a lot of damage at once. There is a laser attack and the slam. The slam is usually a bit more rare, but the laser attack is very likely to happen, so I'm trying to explain it when he does it. So he also sometimes just goes invincible. Let's have to wait a bit and then he will reappear. Now he shoots this cold degen on the ground, don't stay on it. Does a lot of damage. And then he can also make stones rain from the sky. They can just move around a bit. Again he has this cold debuff. And this is the big slam, when he winds up one of his arms to the sky. And then I'm hoping for him to do his laser attack at some point, because that's probably his most dangerous attack. Yeah, he's just doing the easy attacks. So I'm going to let him live for a bit longer, just to see if he does the laser maybe. Yeah, but it doesn't seem like it. Maybe after he re-emerges again. There we go. For this attack you can just move in a circle and all of his lasers will miss. But you saw there, one of his lasers hit me and it did like probably 60% of my health, something like that. So for that attack, really try to dodge.
Back where you belong, nightmare. The faithful need.
And now we have to wait a bit for the store to open. Very nice, and this is the transition area to Act 3. This was the end boss of Act 2 and we have now technically beaten Act 2. We just have to rescue Clarissa right here for Act 3 to kind of like begin. She's the main NPC for the questline of Act 3. And now we have to wait a bit for her to stand up. Talk to her and we will meet her back in town. We're going to grab some more life. And now we are in the Sarn encampment, which is the city for Act 3. So, as I walk into the city, I'm going to do the outro. So if you've enjoyed this, please leave a like and subscribe. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I'm happy to answer all of them. And then I hope you've enjoyed this episode. And I'm going to show you how to do Act 3 in the next one. So, hope you've enjoyed. Goodbye.